Hello and welcome to the Thursday's edition of Political Voice. My name is Sumto Ajamma. So much is happening in the political space in Nigeria, but we're focusing on two significant topics across the polity today. However, we'll start with the Labour Party claiming Peter Obi and Otti, Alex Otti, trying to hijack the party through the back door. Now, that's a major accusation, so we will talk about that in just a moment. But we'll also be looking at Gandaje's age, speaking on APC's plan ahead of Edo government elections on Saturday. But before we get right into these stories, let's take a global overview of happenings around the world. In Africa, the National Democratic Congress, NDC, in Akiem Order, has officially launched its constituency campaign, urging members and supporters to ramp up efforts for a landslide. Richard Etanam Nyako, who officiated the event, stated that the NDC is prepared to face the NPP at the polls to prevent election rigging. India's President Narendra Modi visited the main city in Himalayan Kashmir today to campaign for his party in the local election, the first of such votes since New Delhi stripped the disputed region's semi-autonomy in 2019. Modi's visit to Srinagar city in the Kashmir Valley, the heartland of decades of anti-India rebellion, comes amid strong public opposition there to New Delhi's changes 5 years back. That move revoked the region's semi-autonomous status, annulled its separate constitution, downgraded and split the former state into two centrally governed union territories, Ladakh and Jammu Kashmir, and removed inherited protections on land and jobs. In Nigeria, the federal government has mandated the private sector recruitment agencies adhere to the newly established minimum wage of 70,000 naira, warning that non-compliance will face penalties. This directive aims to address the economic challenges faced by Nigerian workers. Alhaji Ismaila Abubakar, the permanent secretary of the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment, emphasized that paying less than the minimum wage is a criminal offense. Private employment agencies are required to ensure that contracts specify this minimum payment. In related discussions, Dr. Olufemi Ogunlowo, president of the Employers Association for Private Employment Agencies of Nigeria, called for clarification on whether the 70,000 naira minimum wage refers to the net or gross income, highlighting the need to resolve ambiguities in the legislation. The association reaffirmed its commitment to upholding the minimum wage and protecting workers' rights, stating that compliance is a priority for its members. We will now go on a short break, and when we return, we will delve into today's focus. Just stay with us. The party are fueled by competition for control and resources and are weakening party unity and hampering the ability to effectively challenge the ruling party. However, the Labour Party LP, led by Julius Abure, has accused Peter Obi and Alex Otti of trying to take over the party's leadership in a secretive way. In their words, through the back door. This was stated by Obiora Ifo, the party's national secretary. Recall that Peter Obi ran for president under the party in 2023, and Alex Otti won the governorship in Abia State using the party's platform. Recently, the party has faced internal conflicts, and a stakeholders meeting in Umuahia supported Senator Ninadi Usman as the interim leader following a legal dispute between two factions of the party. Ifo claims that Obi and Otti are trying to gain control of the party by working through the electoral body INEC to achieve this. Meanwhile, Akin Oshuntokon, the former Director General of the Obi Dati campaign, has said that Peter Obi and Governor Alex Otti have a stronger claim to lead the Labour Party than Julius Abure. According to Oshuntoku, there is no actual faction in the party, but Abure's leadership is questionable. He also explained that Abure's term as chairman has expired and was not properly validated by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, which is required by law. In an interview, Oshutonko pointed that INEC has the authority to recognize party leadership, and without its approval, Abure's leadership lacks legitimacy. He also argued that since Obi was the party's presidential candidate and Otti is the only governor from the party, they should naturally lead it. All right, now let's dive into conversation. According to Julius Abure, he's saying that Peter Obi and Alex Otti are trying to take over the party's leadership through the back door. Of course, this was related through the party's national secretary, Obiora Ifo. Now, I want us to really expatiate on this. According to him, he's saying they're trying to gain control of the party using INEC, and that's what he refers to as the back door. I'll start with you, Barrister Darlington. Is there any merit to this accusation? You recall that INEC has recently officially not recognized Julius Abure as the leader of the party. So where does that, let's start with, is there any merit to this accusation posed in the first place?
Thank you, Somto. The way it is now, Julius Abure is playing the spoiler in Labour Party. This man has been chairman, and when his term expired, simple common sense dictated that he should resign. He should step down and call for election. But he went to Nnewi and conducted a shambolic election where the press was not even allowed to cover. INEC was not invited. Nobody. He just selected a few of his friends and they went to Nnewi and conducted an election. Tell me, how can any institution recognize such a fraud? So I don't see how Peter Obi and Alex Otti are trying to take the party through the back door. Which back door? In the first place, there's no door at the back. There is no door at the back. The only door is the front door, which everybody is supposed to pass and come in and go out. So which one is back door? Is Alex Otti and Peter Obi the INEC that refused to recognize you? When you conducted the election, was the INEC there? The National Working Committee, were they there? All the stakeholders in the Labour Party, were they there? You cannot hijack Labour Party for yourself. And now you are looking for somebody to blame. How long do you think that election you conducted in Nnewi will last? Because everybody saw it as a fraud. You are not supposed to do what you did. So how can anybody recognize you? So if you ask me, it is Abure who want to take over Labour Party through the back door. That is all.
Okay. I'll come to you now, Ambassador Tewa. I'm sure you've heard the submission of Barrister Darlington in this one. And I want to know if you're in agreement with this point of view, or if you have a contrary point of view on this one, because this is one of the biggest issues here, at least in this conversation. He's saying they're trying to use INEC to enter through the party or to take control of the party, calling that the back door. What do you think?
No, first of all, I think as it stands now, I think Abure should be arrested because he's parading himself illegally as, of course, the chairman of Labour Party. And as it stands now, his tenure has expired, and what he did in Nnewi is what we call a sham. And it's very shameful that to his person who we believe that, of course, believe in the tenet of true democracy, and with Labour Party coming on board and having Peter Obi, being his flag bearer, would of course do the needful and of course learn from the two parties who have put Nigeria astray and of course put Nigeria to where it is today. So having someone like that, leading the party and having a spokesperson, dishing out things like that, it just makes you wonder, what kind of people, what kind of leader he is. And as it stands now, what he's saying, I think he is the person that is trying to hijack the party through the back door. And he is, of course, as it stands now. And if we were to go back, who knows, Labour Party exists because of Peter Obi.
Yes.
If Peter Obi is the reason why Labour Party exists. You see, there's different, but you see, Labour Party need to understand that Nigerians didn't vote for Labour Party as a party, as Labour Party. Like the obedient, voted for Obi because we wanted a change, we wanted a new face, we wanted a paradigm shift from the norm. So having him come on board and say that, they're trying to hijack, normally, we all know how the political space or system in the country works. We know that a party, political party, when you produce a governor, automatically the governor, or maybe a president in this case, automatically becomes the leader of the party. And as it stands now, Alex Otti is the governor elected under the umbrella of Labour Party in Abia State, and Peter Obi, of course, stands right now as the leader of the party because he's a major figure in Labour Party. Remove Peter Obi from Labour Party is gone. And of course, and having him saying they're trying to hijack the party, by right, those two people are the leader of the party, and they should be accorded that respect. So coming to cry over, I don't know, maybe which sentiment he's trying to get. And I think he's trying to dent his seemingly image he seems to have in the public by all this sham and all the shambolic characteristics he's trying to portray in the public. And I think it's a shame that someone of his status would strip himself that low to be dragging. At one point he said that they've withdrawn the ticket. Nobody even voted for Labour. If you remove it, the Labour Party has been there long before Peter Obi came on board.
Yes.
But the Labour Party became Labour Party today as a third force, so to say, because of a Peter Obi factor, an obedient factor. And if that is removed from the equation, you just have to calculate what will happen. So I think as it stands now, he has no say in this matter, and it's very disgraceful, and it's a shame that we have such people come out to spill those jargons, all because all in the quest to hold on to power. Where even in the constitutional party, the constituted body that recognizes a political party don't even recognize you as the Labour Party chairman. What does that tell you? So it goes a long way to tell the kind of person he is, and it's a shame that we are where we are. But of course, every political party have its own Judas, have its own ups and downs, and I think Labour Party is not exempted from this equation.
Of course. Now, as much as you've said that, the INEC has, I'm sure you're aware of the letter from INEC declining to recognize Julius Abere as the party's national chairman. And Obiora Ifo, that's the party secretary, insists that the National Working Committee remains in office and is citing legal grounds, including the court recognition of the Nnewi Convention of the Labour Party. Now, he's saying if the Labour Party, or if INEC specifically, does not or chooses not to recognize that convention, the court does. So, do you think Ifo and Abere can sustain their opposition for much longer, given all these new developments that obviously stands against them? Ambassador Tewe, give me a moment. Let Barrister Darlington answer this one.
Now, Somto, you don't need anybody to tell you what is going to happen. Definitely, I said definitely, whatever Abure is taking to court will not fly. If at all, he will have the lever to go to court. On what ground?
He has filed a lawsuit already.
That's what I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Look, let me tell you what is playing out here. Abure knows that he has committed a financial infraction in Labour Party. So in order to divert attention, he's now using this shenanigans to confuse those who don't know what is going on. He doesn't want to be taking on the money that was alleged went into his pocket. So in order to, protect himself, he has started fighting from the front door. When people are coming for you, you go and wait them at the gate so that they will not come inside your house. That's what he's doing. He doesn't want people to probe him. That is why he's using this method to counter them by bringing up all these unnecessary issues. As at now, he doesn't even have the locus to go to court because the office is challenging, it does not exist. In the eye of the Labour Party and their constitution, it does not exist. So if you go to court, on what ground? INEC have disowned you, stakeholders have disowned you, there is a national committee to reconcile Labour Party and all that is already working. So what are you talking about? Instead of you to, explain yourself about the money that was alleged that got missing under your watch, you are now using somebody want to hijack this and that to cover up. So at the end of the day, I don't think anybody will listen to him. Oh. It's not possible. By the way, who is behind him now? Who?
Obiora Ifo, he's the party secretary. Well, he's the voice of Abure at the moment. He's the one giving statements.
Okay, only one person, Abi. Are you serious? There is nobody of Labour Party, a reasonable person in Labour Party, that is backing Abure as of today. So, on what ground is he standing?
All right, I'll bring that one back to you, Ambassador Tere. The speculations that the public has, at least given the internal crisis, given the fact that Abure came out to say that automatic tickets for presidency and governorship have been taken away from Peter Obi and Alex Otti respectively, given all this crisis, people have asserted or speculated that this is the work of an outsider who wants to weaken the party from within ahead of 2027, pardon me. Do you agree with this speculation? Is this something that you think is actually playing out in real time?
No, you say like the word you use, speculations. Of course, these are politicians, and politicians are allowed to speculate. You know, in a bid to win power, to get popularity, or to will power to yourself, there's bound to be issues and speculations from all corners. But that not to say that you know, it's allowed. It's understandable that, of course, Labour Party being a third force in Nigeria, and of course a face that the youth are hoping that, you know, would give us a facelift, and of course the youth are hoping that, you know, would give us a facelift, and of course deliver the dividends of democracy to his people. So there's possibility that, you know, things like, but of course as it stands now, the problem, which of course every other parties are having, of course the PDP, the APC, none of them are excluded from this, so they are having the same problem. It's always you see, in politics, as long as it's about interests, and there would definitely be a clash of interests, because at one point, you know, one would just want to show that we want to vent his power and of course his will over the others, and of course the others would counter it. So I don't think there is. I mean, Labour Party crisis is not even what is happening in PDP. I mean, would you say there's an external forces that are trying to is igniting that in the PDP? Of course, you can't say that. But as it stands now, I wouldn't want to comment on something I'm not sure about. But if you say that there's external forces coming to weaken the party because of the crisis they are having, these are crises that are bound to happen in every political party, and of course this will make them stronger. And of course there's a committee, a reconciliation committee that's been constituted to bring all the aggrieved members together and see how they can reconcile the parties, just as PDP is doing and of course APC is doing. So in a family there's bound to be disagreement, and of course as long as disagreement doesn't lead for a total destruction, it's welcomed, and of course it's for them to forge ahead and to wax strong. As long as the fortune runner is not backing out at the moment and is still very much strong with the party, staying with the party, and these are things that are bound to happen. Of course, in the president of Peter Obi, you know that is a man who is very calculative in his words and his response to things. So he hasn't responded to all the allegation by Abure and all his cohorts. You know, he has been focused on pushing the party, even with the Edo State and, you know, other election that is coming up, to make sure the party has a good facelift and of course maintain its reputation with the Nigerian people. So it's working, and I think that should be what every right-thinking Nigerians, and of course every Labour Party person should look to. Should be doing at the moment. But you know, speculating that there could be an outside enemy. Well, I don't know. It's speculation, and anybody can feel free to speculate. So I don't think I want to say much about that.
All right, there's another aspect that is not speculation to this. The Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party has accused INEC of singling it out for punishment for the role that it played in the defense of Peter Obi and Alex Otti during the 2023 elections, both presidential and governorship. There's also an aspect where he is accusing Obi and Otti of betraying everything that the Labour Party ever stood for, now taking sides with INEC, which let Nigerians down by bungling the free will of the people in their words. Now, there are beliefs that INEC is working for the ruling party. This is a speculation that has been laid out from the public for a long time. So I'll ask you this one, Barrister Darlington. Is it possible, going by the assertions of this Abure-led faction, that Obi and Otti, who are in the opposition, might I add, are using INEC as a launchpad?
In what way is that possible? Everybody saw how Obi went to court concerning the presidential election. And INEC was even included in the suit and all that.
Yes.
So how could he have been working with INEC? If you ask me, Abure should be asking himself some questions because he didn't deliver. He didn't deliver his presidential candidate. As a party chairman, it is his responsibility to do what is needful. But he never did. So what is he talking about? This question of outsiders coming to destabilize Labour Party, it is very rife because if you look at what is going on, it's not far-fetched. Because Abure will be going for Brooks. If he discovers that he's losing out in Labour Party, he may not go down without fighting. That's the way I look at it. From the way he's acting, he doesn't want the interests of Labour Party at heart.
Is he not already putting up a fight? Would you say he's already putting up a fight?
The fight he's putting up now are just allegations and all that. I see this man becoming a Judas in Labour Party. I see him trying to destabilize Labour Party. I mean, in a very serious manner. What we are talking about now are mere speculations and all that. A time will come when he will do worse than Arabambi and Apapa in Labour Party. A time will come when he will even join Nigerian Labour Congress to fight Labour Party. This same Abure, from the way he's acting, he want to make sure that if not him, nobody else. That's the way I look at it. A party chairman that have the interest of the party at heart, he would have called for election before now. He would have called for election. Why did he wait? What was he waiting for? And instead of him to do that, he went to nowhere and did what I still call a fraud. And you are telling me he has the interest of the party at heart? The answer is capital no. So such persons, they can be easily used by anybody. They can be easily used. It is obvious. Just to save him from this financial infraction. A willing party may go for him. I even ask him to defect to their own party so that his sins will be forgiven. It's possible. I can't rule it out. Because this chairman have not shown that goodwill towards his party. He should be the one making peace. This reconciliation committee that they set up,
yes,
he should have been the one to set it up to prove that, yes, he wants the interest of Labour Party at heart. He should have done it because all those small groups that are grumbling here and there, as the chairman, he is supposed to have done that before now. So why would he now be accusing everybody, right, left, and center, when he's actually the problem?
All right, coming back to you, Ambassador Tewe, Akin Oshintoku, the former leader of the Obidati presidential media team, and he currently supports the efforts by Peter Obi and Governor Alex Otti to take charge of the Labour Party. In his words, or by his belief, he's saying that Obi and Otti are the most prominent figures in the party, so they should lead, because that's the usual practice. This view directly is in contradiction with what Julius Abure and his supporters, if any, are saying. Now, the question here is this valid? Is this true that since they're the most prominent figures, they should be the leadership of the party? And how can the party resolve this internal conflict, at least in view of 2027?
Who is the leader of APC? Is it not the president? In every state, in every election, whoever wins automatically becomes the leader of that party. Now, Alex Otti and Peter Obi a valid leader of the party. And I strongly stand by that submission, and I believe strongly that they should be the leader. However, there's a party structure. There's a leader of the chairman of the party, which that position has not been taken away. This is a governor that is duly elected, who is the chief executive officer of the state, who is being part of your party. Being part of your party will help your party financially and otherwise in the forthcoming election. So there is no two way about this. There is no contention to it. Abura is just a man who is drowning and wants to just see and drag the house down and see that he won't just drown alone. So that's the way I see him. Yes, of course. What I just see, them constituting a reconciliation committee, I think is the right step to go as regards them trying to reconcile all aggrieved members. And of course, in every home, there's bound to be different beliefs and different ideologies to things. And that makes it, a family, and of course, that will bring about the spice in it. Having said that,
Yes.
of course, you can't rule out the fact that there will be Judas. There will be people who will be sellout. So there are people who won't want peace, because in the division of other party lies their victory. So there will be that. So I think Labour Party should look out for that and try to work. Guide the house and unite the party, so Nigerians won't see them like other party and start opening out for another savior. Hope will come, and we don't know when that would happen. But I think Julius Abure, which we have done the needful, which is not doing the needful, and I think the National Working Committee that have constituted this reconciliation committee, I think they should empower the committee to do more, bringing the house together so as to foster more strength for the general election, because Nigeria is really looking forward to a stronger thought force, to help contend power with the so-called big two we have in Nigeria.
Absolutely. And hopefully time will tell how that plays out. And hopefully it plays out to the benefit of the Labour Party. And of course, the public has a better perception of the Labour Party as an opposition in view of 2027 elections. Now let's move on to Edo State. Edo State is a big topic for contention right now, being that the elections are on Saturday. But Sochukudima, that's the Senior Special Assistant on Local Government Affairs, the APC National Chairman, Umar Ganduje, has stated that the APC is confident of winning 2 out of the 3 secretarial zones in Edo State ahead of the governorship election. He dismissed claims made by Governor Godwin Obaseki that the police are working with the APC and its candidate, Monday Okpebholo, to influence the election outcome. Governor Obaseki had accused Okpebholo previously of using a police helicopter for his campaign and claimed that several PDP supporters were being arrested and detained in Abuja and Niger State. Sochukudima denied these allegations, including the claims that thugs and weapons were being brought into the state to rig the election for the APC. Now, the National Secretary Forum of APC chairmen in 774 local governments have stated that APC is confident of securing victories in Edo Central and Edo North, where former Governor Adams Oshomole holds influence. They believe that these regions are safe for the APC in the upcoming governorship election. However, according to them, the key battleground will be Edo South Senatorial District, where Labour Party's candidate Olumide Akpata is strong. They say that this district is expected to be the main area of competition in the election. Now, about the Saturday elections, Sochukudima is basically saying the party has already taken 2 out of the 3 zones, leaving Edo State's Edo South. Exactly. What factors, and I'll pose this on to you, Barrister Darlington, what factors do you think contribute to this confidence before the election specifically, because this is before the election that he's saying this, and does this confidence, or does whatever these factors are, tally with the public speculation may have set in motion plans to manipulate the election outcome?
Sonto, don't mind all the verbal war they are fighting in Edo State. Is in this part of the world is normal. It's only in Africa that the election will come up and people will now they will leave the main issue and be telling you those who have a child and those who don't have a wife. So all those ways, it doesn't add to the welfare of the people. You remember during the last election, general election, Kwakwanso went to Chatham House and said that Labour Party is like Andrew's liver salt, that it will soon fizzle away. They said obedient are just social media, that most of them don't have PVC. Is there anything we did not hear that P2B is the greenhorn? He can't even win Anambra. So all those, at the end of the day, what happened? Both Kwakwanso and those who were insulting obedient, were they not rattled with what happened? If that election was freely and fairly conducted, you know where P2B would have been by now.
So you're saying...
So what is the same word of war that is going on in Edo now? Let me ask you, if APC, if it is in a Senate clan, for God's sake, on what basis will APC be campaigning harassing opposition?
You can't say that. I mean, APC has a strong structure.
Really? What have they done in Edo State? Are they the one in Edo State now? Really? What have they done in Edo State? Are they the one in Edo State now?
No.
Good. So what are you saying? They don't have anything to offer Edo people. So all the war of what they are spreading all over. Okay, if they truly meant it, if they truly meant what they are saying and what they are doing, let there be free and fair election in Edo State. Let there be free. How can you deploy 35,000 policemen? For what? Is there a war going on there? Tell me. These are intimidation. These are agents of intimidation, which APC deployed.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there, Barrister Darlington. You just raised a valid point about the police being involved in this. And this is an allegation that Governor Obaseki...
With the army, not only police. So
yes, with the military, yes. So this is an allegation that Governor Obaseki has posed, obviously. And he also talked about the use of a police helicopter for campaigning. No. And according to him, it raises questions about the ethics of their campaign and what exactly the role is that the police is playing here. Now, I'll come to you, Ambassador Tewe. Does any of these accusations that revolve around the police and the military point to the fact that they are working with the APC to influence election outcome in line with Obaseki's allegation?
From all indications, the truth is the way APC is saying they've had everything plotted out for Saturday election. They are so boastful. They've never been this confident, and it's as if that it's not the people of Edo State that will come out and vote. Good. It's APC that is voting for themselves. And as it stands now, from all indication, it is there is a federal might backing the governorship aspirant of APC. I mean, these are the governorship aspirant that refused to attend any interview. That a spokesperson is Senator Adams Oshomole. That will be asked to speak for him. Imagine what kind of governor that would be. So you know, there's all indication, and of course, we all saw the right hand on the. The right hand on the wall, and we all know that as it stands now, I won't be surprised what will come out after on the Saturday. To be honest with you, I don't have faith in that election, and I can boldly tell you that everything has been plotted. And as it stands now, everyone is. I mean, APC is so sure about what is plots, and if that election was to be a free and fair election, APC has no stand, because considering what's happening in Nigeria, and of course everybody can see, it is so clear to even to the blind. I mean, I intentionally said it's clear to the blind that can't see, can feel it, can even see the hardship we're going through. So on what ground is APC campaigning? On what ground? And would they come and say, okay, they want to give Nigeria a better life? How? So, but from the way it is, I mean, an involvement of police and police involvement in this election and intimidating the other political party, for me, it's a no-no. And this has gone to show where the federal government, the federal government is tilted towards, of course, they are tilted towards to Monday Pebolo, who believes that he has already won. And from intel, I could tell you that they started distributing what's it called now, inauguration clothes for his election because they believe that is a all win for him because they have everything mapped out. That's why you see that Governor Obaseki is really crying foul and all, and that of course will extend to the Labour Party. That's why you see that they're looking at the South as a very strong contention ground for them to win. So it's a pity that we are where we are as a nation, and this is what is happening in the country, and it's sad at the moment. But trust me, come Saturday, for me, I don't see free in the Edo State in the Edo gubernatorial election.
But according to the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Musa, he's saying that they received a mandate from the president to work with security agencies, even the police as well, to ensure a free and fair election. Now, would you say this is just politicking? Because you're interpreting that as intimidation. But he's saying that
them to say what do you expect them to say? We saw what happened in the just concluded election. The military promised a free and fair election. What happened? Right in front of them, you saw the Agberus, the area boys intimidating people from coming to the polls. And what did they do? Which arrest was made? Nothing. But of course, people who came out to say end hunger, end bad governance, they intimidated them, arresting them. So we know what happened. These are just media statements, and these are statements that they will say just to keep in their archive, and of course for international organizations to see that of course they are neutral. But we know what plays out on the day of elections. You know, they will just turn their face to the left and let their cohorts or their men, carry out their bidding. We know what's happening. I mean, their word for me doesn't hold water, and I believe every sensible Nigerian wouldn't believe what they come on air and say that they're going to be neutral and make sure the free and fair election, in which election that has been concluded and of course rigged by APC and its supporters. So we all know what's happening. So that's just a situation of thing. For me, I don't expect any miracle, but of course if it turns out to be the other way, where glory be to God. But for this election, trust me, it's not totally free, and nothing about it is free.
But talking about, and thank you, Ambassador Atoye, talking about crying foul, Ambassador Atoye is saying that Governor Obaseki is crying foul at this point because he seems to be able to catch on to the fact that there are ploys in place to ensure Okpebholo's win. At least that's what he believes at the moment. He's also claiming that PDP supporters have been arrested in Abuja and Niger State. What does this suggest about the current political climate in Edo State, being that the elections are on Saturday, and will this in any way affect voter turnout?
Of course. You don't need to go far to see what is going to happen, because the groundwork have already been done. I can't imagine the army being neutral here. They have never been neutral. They have never been. Our military have, in fact, they have disrespected themselves. The military shouldn't be involved in election.
I was just going to ask that.
Yes, they shouldn't. The law didn't permit them to do that. In the Western world, where they go to enjoy the money they looted from us, do they see this kind of thing there? Why is it that we don't copy good things? Look, let me even say it here now. The history book is there to teach us a lesson for us to learn. Anybody who neglects history is going to repeat history. In 1964, an election was conducted in the Southwest, Western region, which culminated in the Wild Wild West. In 1965, look at the trajectory. It made the Wole Soyinka to go and seize a radio station to announce the actual result. And in 1966, there was a coup. In 1967, there was civil war. All because of what? Look at it, from election in the Southwest. So, in Botswana, the military came in because of the election that was conducted. In Niger, it is the same thing. I don't know how long we'll continue to tell this particular APC to be careful. Their brigandage and violence is so much. Everything about them is brigandage, violence. Grab it, snatch it, and run with it. What kind of policy is that? Whenever election, you see APC people brandishing all manner of things, displaying arrogance and impunity. And you think that the rest of the country will be happy with you. You see that in that particular word they are running away from. They are drawing it with their hand. When they say revolution, I say no, but it happened in the Soviet Union in 1718. It happened in France in 1759. So you think those things are a joke, Abi? You think it's a joke? It is bad leadership that caused it. Instead of APC to even apologize to us for what they have done to us, they are still trying to impose themselves. They will capture this, they will capture that, as if we are in war. And these are Democrats, people who claim to be practicing democracy. Every election use federal might to intimidate everybody. And you think that people are happy.
Talking about intimidation, as Obaseki is claiming that thugs and arms were being brought into the state to intimidate people and, of course, influence the outcome of the election. Is this something that INEC should be watchful about to ensure that the election plays out seamlessly and it's also free and fair? Or is this outside of their purview? Ambassador Tewe? All right, let me redirect that one to you, Barrister Darlington.
Yes.
Is this outside of INEC's purview? Should they be watchful? Should they be vigilant enough to see whether these thugs actually take over the election?
All the laws that will protect people who want to go and vote are there in the Electoral Act.
Of course.
If it is stated clearly that if there's violence in any polling booth, that the candidate of those people who call that violence, his election will be cancelled. It's stated there, but who is practicing it? Who? There are many laws written, but nobody is implementing them. That's why these people are so arrogant. Even all this thing that they are doing, all these shenanigans and all that, the law is against it. It's clearly written. Electoral law, our constitution. But because they are in power, nobody will be called to book. Nobody. That is why they are so arrogant. And I ask you, is that how you are going to deepen our democracy? If you continue in this violent trajectory, what do you think will happen few days down the line? Do you think that Nigerian people will continue to fold their arms and watch this infamy going on? It's not possible. It's a question of time before something will give. Yes, it's a question of time before something will give. I don't need anybody to tell me that. Even the military that are supporting them, how long did the military support Mugabe in Zimbabwe? How long did they support al-Bashir in Sudan? The same military, when they got tired and fed up, what happened? I don't know the one that said, please, Oga, you have done enough damage, go and rest. The same military that were backing him, he had them in Togo. It was his own biological son who fished him out where he was becoming invisible and unaccessible. His own son sought him out and eliminated him, his own biological son, because he was becoming a problem to Togo.
All right.
So when you see all these examples, you think that we are telling them to save themselves from this problem, because if it happens, I don't know what will happen though.
Okay, thank you very much, Barrister Darlington. I'll take that as a final thought for today. But reality is still that on Saturday is the Edo State governorship elections. And of course, as much as there's a clamor for voters to turn out, this is not news, because voters know that they should turn out. What they will meet when they turn out, then that remains to be seen. And of course, influencing the outcome of the election, pardon me. Hopefully that also works in line with the INEC's aim to execute a free and fair election. But that's all we can take on today's episode of Political Voice. Thank you once again, Barrister Darlington, for joining us.
Thank you, Somto.
And thank you to you as well, Ambassador Tewe, for joining us. This is it on Political Voice today. Political Voice will make a return tomorrow. I am Somto Ajamma. Good evening.